Good evening, folks. I'm Baroque, and this evening we'll be starting The Pale Beyond. Now, this is a story-based survival game. Some resource management, some meaningful choices. And who knows where else we'll go through the icy explorations ahead. Now, a little disclaimer. Folks who made this down here at Bellular Studios, I knew from the World of Warcraft YouTube channel and the wider gaming news channel I do. Love their content, followed for years. Don't always agree, but I'm very well informed following them and enjoy what they put out. So I was very curious when they released a game for themselves. It's been on my backlog for a wee bit now. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Oh. I don't want to prune it. Oh, wait, hang on. Figuring this out. Let's see, we go normal. That seems about right. Oh, the air is cold. Don't know what accent we'll be doing for this. We'll figure it out as we go. Am I clicking? Oh. Well, the air is cold, a flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they'll pray that lead reveals, out in the ice they'll stake a claim, in the dark they'll brace themselves. To the top one. The ice they'll pray that leads reveal some charted course ahead. Oh, I like this. Ooh. The souls around them shield in fear, dividing up their dread. A hunger draws the desperate here. Ooh. Such lonely souls need led. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. I do love a good bit of poetry. Got this wreck of the Temperance in the background. Let's begin our journey. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Address overleaf. Signed, Squiggle. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. It's perfectly adequate. Sod coffee. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. The metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming. I do like a little bit of constant sound. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. We keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. We'll remain standing. It's the polite thing to do. We need to be offered a seat. Door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? Open mouth. Bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. Are you speaking from experience? How many people have died under your supervision? Ooh. I don't know. I'd like to say none, but let's think realistically here. More than I'd care to admit. Can you remember their faces? Oh. I try and think about the folks I've lost in life. Starting pretty heavy. So far, every single one. Please, take a seat. Thank you. Chair is uncomfortably large. Seat feels worn. Look at him taking it a moment. I appreciate the art style quite a lot. I'm Captain Hunt. Pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk. Ship is that? Oh, this. Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. Hope you weren't waiting too long. It's fine. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. All seems a bit convoluted for a sailing job. I'm not in the habit of trumpeting my word to every would-be sailor on the street. Probably need to do a gruffer old voice. I need to know if you're right for the job first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Ooh. Still land-born. I'm from the city. That seemed important. I'm from the city, but made my way to sea eventually. Military experience? Merchant. Sailed the merchant line. 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Anything we could get his hands on. He nods. Have you ever fired a weapon? No. Have you ever killed a man? Directly or otherwise? Ooh. If people died on our watch, I'd say yes. I see. You're not married, are you? Of course not. Won't be going off to the snows if I were. Better not have a death wish. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. That's a very important line. Any less, you're doing yourself a disservice. Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Good work's hard to come by these days. Indeed. A venture like this, however, it's about more than just the money, isn't it? So where are we headed? Ready to find the ship in that bottle. A little glance over. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. Clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Did they? Did they what? Or did they find it? I've no idea. She never came back. The ominous music suddenly creeping in. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. I need a lot more than rumours if I'm putting my life on the line. Naturally, here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now? Until now. Oh. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Can I speak to them? No, they're dead. Oh, drat. But their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. Who's financing all this? I like how much his expression's changing. The usual. Film and lecture rights have been sold. Of course, we're in the process of signing off on a financial benefactor for the expedition. They've even donated a ship. We'll be travelling on board the Temperance. That doesn't bode well that we saw it sinking at the start. She's a beauty. Greenwood. Generational. Not many like it left these days. The The Viscount and the Temperance, their sister ships, built together, sent out into this world to die alone. Superstition gets people killed. So does cynicism. Oh, scathing! Captain looks at the bottled ship. What do you think? Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. Captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. Captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. Don't you need more information? Not if I'm a captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professions. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel saver to save me from drowning. But alas, I'll see you on the Temperance. Captain makes his way to the door, and you follow. You arrive at the docks, a month to the day. Before you lies a ship. On its side reads Temperance. Oh, look at this. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Signed as a sharply dressed man, overseeing the loading of cargo. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. It's good to see someone else with land legs. Oh no, I've got a lock in this voice now. You must be Hunt's pick for first mate. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton. A pleasure. Shake his hand. Accept his offer of a handshake. It's a considered shake. I shall be operating as Chief Science Officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I didn't inform you of your duties. You are second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Oh no. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organised sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. Yup, UI has appeared. Oh no, temperatures, timings. The management begins. Let's see. Sea folk are known to be unruly. I'll do my best to keep them in line. Good to hear. Let me know when you're ready to depart. Make sure to savour these last moments on land. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. We got the city, a young man, and the boat. How much time will pass on each of these? You'll be gone for quite a while. It'll be some time before you see the city again. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Oh, it's nice! Your little blue sea monster on the front. Little blue flag. They're identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Then I guess we set sail. Sudden piano. Week 1 on the Temperance. Good evening, AJ. I did indeed tell you that I was not good at management. Expect horrendous things ahead. But we'll do what we can to get our crew to our destination. It's been a month. Oh, and we get our little intro kind of still there, scrolled back. First mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. Who's paying for this? I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. The crew, however, are a different story. Evening, Shill. Good to see you. Hope you're well. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice. Pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on the pack of sledding dogs. I've sailed with worse. We came all across all kinds trading with merchants, but rarely this split. Now, I'm pretty sure it won't devolve into Lovecraftian horror, but it will certainly have the hard decisions to be made and unlikely to get everyone through. Again, they've gone for a survival game where story is the forefront and our choices will matter. So I'm very curious to see. I don't think it'll be quite as dire as something like Frostpunk, but let's find out. I've never been on a ship like this before. She's magnificent, a technical marvel. Elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. I trust the captain. Seems a trustworthy sort. See how much we eat these words going on. I mean, you could be right, Shell. I don't know. Maybe it does turn into that kind of horror, but who can say? Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who will make out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigour. I've heard the rumours. Drinking, desertion. Probably a good reason he's dressed in antiques. Perhaps I'm too quick to judge. Sign off. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Joe, Captain wants you at the helm. Good, I want to see him. Evening, Dark Eyes. Oh, that's absolutely what he wants. He leaves. Okay, we've got the captain at the helm. What does forecastle mean? Crow's Nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at the next port. Forecastle door appears to be locked. Then I assume the captain's cabin is shut tight. The captain himself is busy at the helm. Alright, just kind of get a feel for it. Potentially, Shill. Potentially. Join him at the helm. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. Days like these, I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment, before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy? Or were you stuck carrying crates? I like that little bip indicating, like, we're respecting a choice you've made. Yeah, why don't you have a try? Yeah, you sure? Yes, this is important. Alright, take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship. Feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Oh. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Oh. Very pretty with all the gulls going over. Easy. There. You have it. Captain pats you on the back. Immediately. Come on, we're not even out of the prologue yet. Have some faith in me. Fantastic. Now try and get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Peaceful, isn't it? Zoom! Enhance. Slow zoom. I think I saw in the menu we can speed that up if we want. Whoa. Panning and zooming speed can be adjusted in the settings menu. Thank you. I think I will absolutely knock those up a couple. Knock that up to about 7. Knock that up to 7 as well. Try that. That feels better. Cam, we've run aground, Cam. No, don't do this. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. I'm sure. We can have a nosy. A tub. Pristine, furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. Classical painting, depicting sailors doing battle of a kraken. Don't foreshadow, game. Don't foreshadow, kraken. You're unsure of any historical significance. They recognise the ship as the galleon of Captain Hamish. On the desk you make out a variety of papers, notes and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognise as the mark of the Apperton's Tinning Co. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Let's take the request then, I suppose. You take a seat at the end of the room. Captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. Start. There's 23 souls signed on to this expedition. Ourselves include. Oh no, the management begins. That's 16 free to be assigned tasks, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. Or is that morale? The expedition will end, tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Oh no. We've enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, the crew will become malnourished. Oh no, it's going to Darkest Dungeon me as well. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of a week. Oh! And more than enough fuel to get us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of the week. If you cannot afford that minimum fuel, crew will become freezing. Unless cured, freezing will develop into frostbite, severe status that prevents them from working, and eventually killing them at the end of the week. I'm sensing a theme. Oh, not the dogs! Not the pets! The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiations. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between the weeks. Now, on to work. Oh. Okay. COVID. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring him in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. Captain studies them further. You know where we're headed, don't you? Protect the dogs at all costs. I'll try my best, Jill. Yes, a very real kind of horror. Runt. I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jiboom from your bowstring? Don't know if I do, Captain. I do. Learned it all from my dad. Your dad? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, sure. Hunt eyes you up, it begins. Your first mate. What should we do with him? Oh. Well, they're clearly dressed for it, right? He's been through some stuff. Look at his scars on his face. And he's doing this for his dad. Jaboom, I hardly know it. It's going to be like this all time, Shill. I'll keep them aboard. Hunt squints. Why? That's a good question. You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. I'd say we let him. Alright, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain. Not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the 2 sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, that seems the litter is a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. Ooh! It's a nice little bit of tutorial, just letting you know ergonomically, like through dialogue. That's the risk. What of the father? What of the father? Should he be punished for letting this happen? Another mouth to feed on the ice can be the difference between life and death. Let him be. I doubt he wanted his son here. He's clearly snuck up, but what's the point in punishing him for that? It's not his fault. What's he going to do? Tie his kid at home? Suppose you're right. And so Baroque wrote Runt's death row. Listen, Dark Eyes, come on. Maybe we'll make a sailor of him by the end of this. See, the captain knows. Well, that matter's sorted. We have Cordell. With a doggo. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Sure, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my old kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. And what exactly are these demands? She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition, as a member of the crew. None on this ship have experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, sure. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Thoughts? I don't see the harm in having, food is definitely gonna be a problem. I can see that now. But I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, sure. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? The sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently through enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you, below deck. Max crew increased to 25. Ooh. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle, with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, sure. I hope we're not. 14 dogs! Look at that. All the supplies. 100 of 100, 14 of 14. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? FD lads, red hair. Couldn't mistake them for another. The Stoke brothers? Who are they? You haven't met all the crew yet? Stokes have been serving me for years. And they'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Very well, Captain. When the figure balancing on the mast, or we go with the forecastle. It's still locked, but we can hear the kennel master preparing the room inside. Dark Eyes, please. The dogs are going to be fine. Let's get through the tutorial before jumping to any horrendous conclusions. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasia Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. How's the view up there? You startle the woman, causing her to fall and nearly drop her camera. Let's help her down. Good gods. You help her retrieve the device and untangle herself from the rigging. That was a close shave, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasia Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasia. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there? Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasia Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honour in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. Well, that's pretty intense work. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or their benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. The proof is all we have. Unless we devise a way to bring the Viscount back with us, the proof is all we have. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Let her continue. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. No one will read it if the title sounds just like the work of an amateur. I'm not the creative type. I'm sure you'd know better. Asha tilts her head and grits her teeth, holding an inner debate with herself. And like the little expression work. Maybe not. How about Hunt's Incredible Voyage? Too fantastical? I suppose I'll find the right name when the time comes. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Apologies, I'm just a little excited. I've never been on a voyage like this. I suppose in your experience, the open ocean is the home of the mundane. I suppose you've never travelled this far south of merchant lines. You have that right. That's a shame. Looking out on that open ocean, I don't know how anyone could find it dull. It's no wonder the great explorers like Kurt Darling would always come back to it. That reminds me, he'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasia holds up her camera with a sense of pride, before holding it up to her face. Stand still, sure. Oh no! I've been flashbanged. Captain sent me to grab a copy of the manifest. Oh, yes. I'm putting together a manifest of the crew for you. She hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Interesting. We might have some stories to tell by the time we get through. Interesting. We've got Runt, who is a sailor, stowaway and saltborn, so born on the seas. Killian Smurf Sanders, sailor who is ice savvy. Amelia Corvid Sparrow, sailor, also ice savvy. Then Joseph Joe Gren, another ice savvy sailor. No captain on here, but I suppose this is just for the crew. Scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists. Rufus Hunt, the captain. Mutwash ice savvy. Kasia, photographer and landborn. Robin Shaw, that's me, with no face. And Richard Templeton, science officer. Resource cards, key items. Kasia's camera, integral to her report on the crew's manifest. And Grimley's accordion, a weathered instrument tuned with care. These are both story items. Bear that in mind. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. Leave her to her work. Very good. We need to find people to get pictures with then. 2 Johns. You spot a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. Hey, added to the manifest. Very good. Right, let's head down. Ooh. Continue lower. Ooh. Suddenly packed down here. Let's approach the cook. Find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful! Almost got drenched in broth. Apologies, I'm in a rush. On request for Hunt. From Hunt? Is there an issue with his ship? No, he just wanted me to find the Stoke brothers before a meeting. I'm not surprised. Those two are the only ones who know what's going aboard this bloody ship. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. Oi, what's holding you up? Cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs the large pot, preparing to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, would you carry that tray of biscuits behind me? Carry the tray. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door and to the table where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer. The ship's cook placing the broth upon the table. Trust me, fellas, this one's worth the wait. Cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into the bowls of the crew. Oi, one at a time, you animals. Ward, you're awfully Ansley for only one arm. Ah, piss off, Junior. Get some bread here too. Grab it fast before Tucker beats you to it. The crew laugh and are merry as Junior guides you back through the kitchen. We weren't properly introduced. Robin Shaw, right? I've been keeping track of all the new crew. Rowan Stokes. Nobody calls me that. Well, the other will call me Junior. Should do the same. No idea why Hunt picked someone he's never worked with as first mate. But you seem the helpful sort. Glad to have you aboard. Well, Hunt wished to see you as soon as possible. Gotta let him know. Ah, yeah, good old Hunt. Never a rest on this ship, let me tell you. Especially when Hunt takes a liking to you. He's having a drink. That must be Grimley playing the accordion. Crew have their meal. Passes in relative silence. It's become evening. Crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Over dinner, you overhear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. But Da, you're lucky Hunt didn't throw you overboard. Half a mind to do that myself. Come on, Da. May help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. Got him on the manifest. Go up one. Anybody about? Ah, hello. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that's been pulled from a cabin. Mr. Gloss. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. Bottle of wine, actually. Can't be hard to miss. It'll turn up eventually. I would hope so. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Sure, I'll keep an eye out for your bottle of wine. Ocean. As you look over the railing out to the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand, overlooking the stirring waters. Looking at something? No. Any spare tobacco? I don't share. Alright. Tashi. After introducing himself, Tashi falls silent and begins to read the letter. Trying to draw conversation from him may be similar to extracting teeth. You spot Templeton, looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite the change. I noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin, and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. This is great expectation upon us, officer. From who? Who is this benefactor of ours? That is not for you to know. Not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight. but I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It is important the first officer be well rested. Hold E to advance to next week. Oh. Interesting. Oh. Now the management begins. We start off upsetting people. Like, morale doesn't take a hit. Unless we do that. I think we knock down fuel a little bit, but keep food. I also can't seem to... Oh, no, there we go. No, go back. Hang on. Go back. Oh, I can just use the arrow keys. That works out. I think that's a decent start. Fuel will end up being more important. Ship makes its last port at Orca Island. Odell sled and dogs are picked up. New scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. Days are getting brighter if you move further south. To the next week then. We're still in the prologue. 2 weeks on the Temperance. Game saved to tree. What does that mean? Come in. The door swings open to reveal Kurt Darling, all but filling its frame, grinning ear to ear. There you are, Officer Shaw. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation precede him. Adorned with a slew of apparatus, this seemingly one-man expedition would be known to anyone following the heyday of exploration and the merchandising that followed. It's an honour. Really? A wealth of invaluable experience in such hostile environments. I wonder he's been not swept up to some other post. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? Are you always this early to rise? These days I tend to enjoy a good lion, but not during an expedition. You know what they say, of early birds and worms? Oh, I like him. Apologies for not stopping by sooner, Shaw. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of the crew were eager to meet me. That's right, you're something of a celebrity, aren't you? I take that to mean you haven't heard of me before. Well, that is a pleasant surprise. Yet I have. There aren't many who haven't seen my films, particularly in this line of work. More than one fellow on this crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honour, is it not? This crew don't seem like the film-going type. Well, yes, most were born on the sea to begin with. But it's good to know even those old films can inspire. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyway, I was hoping you'd come join me up deck. Of course, but why? We finally entered the pack. Thought you'd want to see it for yourself. I'll be right behind you, Kurt. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. Oh, and enjoy your morning. It's a good day, Shaw. Ah. He leaves. Open my journal. Ah, and then I can look back at things we have done. Very good. Anybody about? The doctor's office? My cabin? Mrs. Gloss. Let's check the doctor's office. It is locked. Seems the good doctor in. Perhaps enjoying his sleep. We yet to come across the ship's doctor, even after all this time. You know one of the science teams returning to their room. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? She nods to you. Ah, hello. I did not expect many to be up this early. Harriet Glossary. I believe I've met your husband. Ah, yes. Dwight made mention of your encounter. He's still fast asleep. He's adjusted to the ship well. I believed a walk around the ship would help acclimate myself to the waves. Perhaps it will take some more time. With that, Mrs. Gloss makes her way back to her cabin. The science team aren't used to the sea, or the sailor folk. Quite the culture clash, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to us over time. Hmm. I can check my manifesto any time. Which gives me a hint of them. Right, let's double check downstairs. Anybody about? Many of the crew are still fast asleep, laying in hammocks. Best not disturb them, sure. You don't want to find yourself dealing with an abruptly woken sailor. Let's head up deck. Sounds of snoring are rather obnoxious. the VO work to capture snores. Oh. The ice. At the stern, you notice an older sailor at the helm. The old man takes in a deep breath in the cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning! And a good morning to you! He eyes you up. Up is ashore, right? Lefty. Call me that on account of... well, should be obvious. He chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprised unpicked from outside for his first mate. I assure you, I'm more than qualified for the role. Oh, I don't doubt that. It must be something special for Hunt to look outside the ranks. You got experience at least. Merchant Navy's quieter though. Mornings like these are about the only peace I get from the younger lot. Should take these moments when you can. Lefty returns his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you learn to value the quiet moments, eh? Let's hope we're just as diligent when we're old and grey. You're starting to grey, my friend. Myself before you, of course. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. Ooh, new perspective. You both feel the temperance break the floes below you. Gripping the railing, he draws an enormous breath. Floating beneath rises the ship mounts an impending ice floe. There is a moment's hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading across the ice. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. I assumed you'd seen everything. A younger me would have agreed with you. It's an interesting mix. Nostalgia and the never-ending new. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. All caused by us? By laws of nature. This place wants us dead. And yet, here we are. Traversing in harmony. How fantastic is that? I like him. How far are we from land? We're about a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Assuming she isn't exactly where they left her. Can't take smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for this daylight. It won't remain this bright for so long once winter encroaches. Beautiful as the ice is, on this course it's going to get thicker. He looks out across the white. We won't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck here till the next cycle. We need to change course. Avoid the packs. Have you informed the captain? He won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I've probably seen more ice than he has whiskey. We have enough supplies if it comes to that. It's not supplies I'd be worried about in that situation. People will turn on each other before they let themselves starve. Oh dear. Have you ever experienced a long night? Winter. It's not pleasant, to say the least. If it comes to that, we'll adapt. Can see why he hired you. Should understand, Robin. We're only as good as the unhappiest man. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and turns back to look across the ice. Can't help but be nosy and have a glance about. That's how I play this kind of game. Give me stuff to click, I'll click it. Oh, it's requests time. Here we go again. Ah, sure. Ready for another day of work. Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch course. Aye, he had a few words to share. He may have been an expert in his time. These days, Kurt is one with more money than sense. Anyway, back to work. I was hoping you'd help me through a few more requests from the crew. You may have noticed the line pulling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call them in as you please. Okay, we got Hammond, Kasha, and Corvid. We'll see Kasha first. Captain Shaw? Thought occurred to me the other day while looking through the crew manifest and, well, it might be too late for this now that we've already entered the ice. Out with it. I thought it'd be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only for my report, it would be good reference for the manifest. Put faces to the names. Or should this crew have served me for years? Some decades. I have a little problem with putting faces to the names. Your thoughts, Shaw? Seems like a good idea. Nothing else, it made for a good souvenir. Yeah, you want to catalogue stuff, make sure we have everyone accounted for. I don't know everyone super well yet. Sentimental of this expedition, are you? Oh, we got some decorum back. Some proper photographs will have some historical weight to it. Well, Belford, I see no problem here. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken of the crew before they have their dinner. Thank you, Captain. Sure. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help on that matter, Officer Shaw. She departs, satisfied. Alright. Hammond. A short, sour-faced man in engineer clothing approaches. I have to, oh, bang, smack the mic when we drink. You acting daft, Hunt? Not with intention. Not bloody surprised you didn't notice. Sure, this is our chief engineer, Clive Hammond. An opinionated one. What is it, Hammond? Bit the ice. You haven't assigned any extra men down on the boiler. You have your engineering team. We've only got 6 arms between us. I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors. Many of the crew have their own tasks they're busy with. I know I've already assigned Smurf on a matter. Captain turns to you. How many do you think is fair? 1? 3? More. Open the crew manifest. Choose how many sailors you wish to assign. Some choices require you to assign from your manifest. In this choice, you may choose the amount to assign. Huh. Let's get Tashi in there. Slap John, 2 Johns John. And, Timmy. The dude wanted more than 3. I think overdoing it at this point would be a bit much. You can take Tashi, 2 Johns and Runt. You're giving me the bloody stowaway? Would you rather none? The engineer holds his tongue. You can tell me how right I was when we're buried under the ice. He leaves. A good spirit, that one, beneath the oil and the temper. You won't be seeing much of him, though. First to burrow himself in the boiler room. Right, Corvid. Corvid enters the office. Hunt, you asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing. Aye, I wanted to see if the young boy has been settling in well. He has indeed. It means another mouth to feed, but the boy works hard and doesn't ask much. He has his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father's ecstatic. Worried sick, but happy, aye. Well, what do you know, Shaw? Perhaps we were right to keep the boy aboard. We're getting decorum back this quick. Maybe I could have skimped on the food as well. I mean, some decisions will likely lower that, so that's our requests for the day. It's smooth sailing so far. Good to have all that settled then. Perhaps we shouldn't rule out old Kurt so easily. The man thinks there could be an alternate path through the ice. He's free to search for it. Sure, meet with him when you have the time. Changing course or not, we'll want one of his scouts to set up in the crow's nest. Take care of that, and you'll be done for the day. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's see. Approach a sick young man. Oh, no. You spot a youthful young man leaning over the side of the ship, his head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. Are you okay? You speak out. The sickly man doesn't answer. He raises his head and turns to spot you, his eyes widening in shock as he does. A bespectacled young man, shaking with unease. Stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered on his face. Sorry. Haven't seen you around. Who are you? I'm very sorry. Arthur turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. What? Don't run! Come back! While examining the rigging of your ship, your eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. Their outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Aerobatic scout. Ah, no problems. She looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw. Yourself? Flick. I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. I don't know where the accents are coming from, but I only have so many. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics if you worry about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scaling the rigging of the ship. We'll speak to navigation in a moment. Let's have a glance about. A wine bottle somewhere. Hey up. Bit of eavesdropping. We overheard two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Yorick the third. Ah, Quinsley. Have you any trouble settling in? Not too bad. Can't wait for a chance to sleep, though. A proper navigator never rests until their work is done. Got that kind of face. Of course, of course. Take it you've had no issue settling in? Not at all. The crew are a funny lot. Old Kurt certainly caught their attention. Ah, do you think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you'd collapse from joy if they did. Ah, perhaps. I like that my extra exploring is helpful here. Approach the accordionist. Oh, I like the little designs on that. He spots you and ceases in his playing. Need something? You're Grimley, aren't you? The man grunts. Aye. Grimley Stoke. I'm the ship's carpenter. Ah, then you're Junior's brother. Junior? Oh, you're sure. Junior mentioned you. It was good to meet you, Grimley. Grimley just grunts in response. Won't keep you from your work. Don't keep me from my break. All right, Grimley. Got a hooded sailor and approaching the cook. To the sailor. You spot a suspicious-looking sailor emerge from the pantry. The hooded sailor spots you, keeping their hands firmly in their pockets. Not what it looks like, Officer Shaw. Fleck, call me Gnomes. I'm not thieving anything. I hadn't considered that, but now that you've said it... You think I protest too much then? No worries. I was just setting up a practical joke. And what is this practical joke? Not going to spoil the surprise. It's not at your expense, if that's your concern. Have to get some enjoyment round here, don't you think? You are making my hackles raise, sir. With their mysterious trap set, Gnome scurries off to the upper deck to return to work. Cook. Hey, Judy. Hey, Shaw. Can you grab some tins from the pantry? It's nearly time for dinner. I'll grab you some tins. What will it be this week, Shaw? Hang on, I need to go to the pantry, don't I? The moment you enter the pantry, a bag of flour drops on my head, scattering all over my officer's uniform. That's what he meant by trap. The hells was that? Gnomes? Wipe the flour off you before continuing. I'm glad it hit me. Tin food. You lift a crate of tins from the shelves. Oh, Fox in the chat. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this evening. Let's make use of the kitchen while we can. And how do I give you the tins? Is that just feed? Oh. Resource items may be spent here for instant effects, increasing food or changing the status of the crew. Okay, we put in our tin. Which gives plus 20. Feed the hoosh. Cool. Call them for dinner before we speak to the other guy, or do we do that now? Don't know. Speak to the navigator first. Think. Send me up there and I'll get you a reading. Scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means to send you to one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Am I going to stream Monster Hunter next year? Oh, absolutely. Cannot wait. Loved a lot of the games, but World spoke on a more grander scale, just having all the modern trappings, and Wild seems to be we've taken all that popularity and all that money and all that oof and bumped it up to 11. I'm very excited for it. Of course, if you find one of mine, they'll get us a reading, rightly. Oh, how far up? That high up. Some choices require you to assign a certain type of crew. In this case, you may assign only scouts. We'll take the Lady Wimmick. One flick. They ascend to the nest and take a reading with their sextant. All clear from up top. Whoa. Oh boy. Last port you made, where you picked up Kurt and the scouting team from. Last known location of the Viscount, your destination. We can't rightly sail straight through the middle of it, can we? Oh, and that just lets us pick up the map again. I see. Little penguins and seals down there. One of those fancy ones with the... It has a name. It's not a lion seal, is it? Meant to be quite dangerous. Right, let's go feed everybody. Grubs up. Crew have their meal. Oh, everybody all fit in now. Ah, shall we toast to the ice? Aye. Days get longer, but dinner is fixed. Will see us through the long days and darkest nights. Crew return to their post. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Can't help but notice it's still bright light outside. Okay. To eavesdropping. You notice two sailors passing from the dinner table. An inebriated sailor on wobbling legs leaning on the shoulder of another. Ah, good times, good times. Need to learn to handle your drink, Tucker. Ah, but I'm fine. My mates can carry me a cavity. They can also drop you. Have two Johns carry you next time. Are you asleep? Shit. I like meeting more of the crew. Right, anybody sneaky down here? My cabin. Door. Knock on the door. No response. I knock on the door again. Still no response. We hear the sounds of rustling inside. I knock on the door a third time. Annoyed scientist. Yes. Do you require my presence? I'm acquainting myself with the crew. Who are you? You should know. I am the meteorologist of this expedition. Andre Isaac. If I am not required for anything, I would ask not to be disturbed any further. Sure. About my cabin. Okay. I just thought somebody might be in there. You never know. What? Bit more eaves peeping. You overhear two engineers chatting above deck. Or rather, you overhear one engineer speaking with another. Grips. Do you know how the chief could stay down there all evening? You see, Mr. Hammond eat? I haven't. Maybe he doesn't even eat. Man's not human if he can work all day and night on that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Aye, Dick, it's figurative. Right. Oh, we're filling out our manifest. Oh, dog lady! And all of the dogs will be safe the whole trip. There are so many in this one room. Dogs regard her with rapt attention as she paces between them, bowl in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Try the soup. You nearly burn your mouth on the hot broth. Surprisingly palatable. You feel yourself warming up. You seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there is only so much. If you want more, They'll be among the dog's leftovers. Penguin, some blubber. That's some proteins. Fastest way to hydrate them. We should try to remember this in case she is no longer with us at some point. Was there something you needed? Just inspecting the animals. They belong here more than we do. Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools them through their pores as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. You've been on the ice for a long time? A long time, yes. Who's that beside you? This is Stanbury. Oh, hello, Stanbury, hello! Bark. Strong animal. Very. They handle stress differently, adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you'll need them. To Stanbury. You ruffle its head. Tries to lick the broth from your fingers. Oh. Don't go noises. Lovely stuff. Captain's turned in for the evening. We turn in for the evening? All right, I hold the E button and that does it. Just double check no one's gone to my quarters again. No, we're all good. All right. To the next week. I wonder how long this prologue is. Oh, okay. Morale came up pretty quick, so I think we can knock these down by 1. Just so we're saving up rations. Another week passes. Temperance finally entered the thick ice leads. The days grow even brighter. Three weeks on the Temperance. Explore available crew. Saved game to tree. What does that mean? Oh. Oh, we can pick from different weeks, and I assume different choices. Branches 1 out of 40. Ooh. Fascinating. Have a look about. Don't see anybody there. Anybody downstairs? Everybody asleep. Oh, the pumps. Nobody in the pumps. Then back up then. Oh, blinding white. Oh, we're just in the ice now. Yep, we know that one. We know that one too. Shows us getting closer. Let's go see the captain. Dark Eyes, you can review all your bad decisions. Listen, so far, nothing has been a bad decision, alright? There has been no horrendous actions. Nobody has died yet. This is all going swimmingly. Apart from maybe our food and fuel. But I was stingy on it for a reason. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. That is odd. Wait for Captain Hunt. The whole room shudders. It begins. What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at the ice. We could be trapped for a while. Strong pressures. As if we didn't have enough bother. The dogs are not dead yet, Fox. They are not. They're going to be fine. Well, no need mucking about. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Sure, check the boiler room. I'm sure the mole man has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before you know it. Back to work. You right there, Kasia? Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's come to a stop. I almost flung my camera into the wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We're trapped in some ice. We'll need to break loose to get moving again. Well, let's hope we can do that sooner rather than later. Trapped in ice, though. That would make for a good photograph. Nobody's in my office? No. Yet is indeed the key word. However, I will do my utmost. Nobody in the pumps. Nobody raiding the pantry. Oh, we can get some of that tinned food. No one's going to come at me for grabbing the crate of food, are they? I hope not. Let's go down to the lower deck, where we've not been yet. Ship's stuck, then. You're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. Oh, we didn't cross paths. Don't ask me. I'm going to check with my brother. Grab a sack of coal while we're here, I guess. Where's Hunt? Now, if I'd made any errors, I'd tell you. It's secure, don't you worry. They notice you. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. What's happening? I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. And I told you that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes down, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man. Just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold. Trust me. I will. Well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Hammond eyes you, a grimace on his face. First mate's here. But where's the one who got us into this bloody mess? He's a difficult one to find. Indeed he is. I have a suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he is anywhere, he must be in his cabin. When you find him, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself, too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you, and I both owe our good captain a visit, sure. But you should call the crew for dinner first. Routine is important, especially now. Not before we've fed this furnace. I'm grabbing some coal from the bunker shore. You're afraid to get your hands dirty like Mr. Templeton here. I've already done it! Keep her lip, Captain. Okay, and that brings that up. Can I grab some more as I go? No. Gonna have to bear that in mind. You emerge mid-deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner, despite the ice. Some seem nervous, others as if nothing had changed at all. Is that everybody on the crew, though, before I call them for dinner? Nobody in my quarters? One day, someone's going to be in my quarters. Right, other than checking the captain's office, nobody here. Pet the dogs! Rub its chin. Nod knowingly. Ruffle the fur! Officer Shaw, it would appear we've stopped. Curious. Hunt was warned of this pathway, was he not? Even I could see the risks, and yet an experienced sailor carried on. I wonder what goes through that man's head. Alright, if she's fine not eating with everyone, then that's fine. Right. Cook. What's on the menu this week? Well, I found another tin of beans. Given the 30-second stream delay, I am unsure to which element of things would be referred to as kinky. Nonetheless, it's dinner time. Crew of their meals. The dinner is shared. Crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Can't but notice it's still bright outside. Oh, let's do a bit of eavesdropping. Didn't see him either. He didn't pass by, but his cabin was locked when I checked. Slippery bastard. What are you thinking, Hunt? Alright there, Casher. No sign of Hunt, I take it. Mr. Templeton passed by, but he wasn't exactly willing to take questions. All people are now stuck about, trying to get ourselves out of it. Keep it up, lads. We'll set ourselves right in no time. Ah, sure. I just saw Templeton entering the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt's holed himself up inside. Maybe if he had a word with our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. I will do so. Oh, no. That doesn't look good, does it? That seems unfortunate. I was informed that he was here. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt he's cowering beneath the table, sure. Oh, he's not dead. Captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. Captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You are a surprisingly difficult man to get a hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. No, it isn't. That isn't like... You picture sexy bath time. This is not the case. Fully clothed sailor man, pissed, no water, barely holding himself out of it. No, no, no. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join. Well, hang on a minute. We're being propositioned. Hunt shakes his hip flask as he holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what are you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar. I don't drink. And you don't care to humour me this once? Ah, well, you're lost. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this? The ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? You could have heeded Kurt's warning. Kurt. Still hanging on his word. Pair of you in the chat, I see. You would have some luck relying on that old lout. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Help him bottle down his sweet old nectar. What shall we... He's a man chasing a spotlight, nothing more. There's no safe passage here. This was always going to happen. Well, that's not good. Mr. Hunt. Captain. If you're not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw will stand in your stead and we can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty. No captain would do that as a fit captain, wouldn't you agree? Well... Not you. Shaw, isn't that right? What do you think makes for a good leader? Oh boy. Sobriety for a start. Let's keep it light. Yeah. He sips at his drink. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have time for... In a word, then, what makes a leader? Oh, boy. Now, many different people will answer this very differently. From my perspective, understanding. Understanding? Explain. Yes. The ability to adapt to your crew. To understand the individual needs that make up the whole. And if those needs conflict, oh boy, they thought it through. It's all well and good to think you can bend and twist and please everyone. Oh no, I'm going to get called out really well here. Do you think you could balance that? Scorn a man one day, then appease him the next. Do you think that balances out? Which is he more likely to remember? A very good point. Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is something more than the single rule you were told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You have wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real questions. Joe, look at where we are. Do you honestly think we're going to survive this? I've no doubt we will. Gotta believe it. Well, I suppose someone has to carry faith with them. The captain laughs. Sure. Nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No, no. Wouldn't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Who's got needs? Captain's obligated to satiate them. I don't think it'll turn into that kind of game. We'll have to see how needy they get. As long as the dogs live, that's fine. It's not going to be cannibalism choices or throwing people overboard. Oh, who knows? Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me. Ah, Doctor. Ah! And then there's me. What are we actually searching for? Hunt chuckles, gesticulating mockingly with his hands. Ghosts. Templeton opens the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's sound of mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. It's all right, Robin. Go on now, sure. I'll be all right here. Captain appears to have fallen asleep. Oh, look at the little drawing. He looks so peaceful. Just head out then. Can I inform anyone that we have... Well, Captain Hunt needs his sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have affected him greatly. You could find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Lay your head. We'll continue on the morn. Yeah, but first... One would think Hunt would be taking action at a time like this. Instead, the man has squirreled himself within his office. An odd one. Pet the doggos, pet the doggos, tickle and rub the bellies. We've got to do this while we can. Right, anybody else about? Nobody in my cabin? Nobody's in my cabin. All the other doors are shut. Oh, yep. Lower deck. Thought that dude was always in the boiler room. Alright. I think that makes for week 3. A swig of his beverage. Make sure you all do the same. Stay hydrated. You awake to a room awash with green. There's a loud banging on your door and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Sure, are you in there? Sure. Hammond, what's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned, and we need to stop the whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you if the furnace goes, we go. Lead the way. We don't have a moment to spare. Let's get up. Get up. Get out of bed. Let's go. Right, let's move. We need to find the captain. Now. Sorry, Kasha, we literally don't have a moment to spare. The lights of the aurora flicker over the pale ice. Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tub? Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. Alright, sure. Captain's missing. You're in charge. Can't give up and hunt that easily. I bloody well can. He missed his chance to take the reins. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room now. We've already wasted enough time looking for that bastard Hunt. You storm down to that room, all you'll be doing is inciting a panic. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Light them as the ship goes down. Not at all. So to assure them we know how to remedy this matter. You do know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond? Aye. And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. I've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. Hammond's right. If the boiler goes, we all die. We gotta do that. We can smooth things over later. Boiler won't wait for us. Fine. I'll speak to the crew at bay then. There you go. There's your job. You do that bit. Don't worry about him. Let's go. I would talk to you, but we gotta get moving. Some more of the crew notice you, Hammond, is spending below. Whispers begin. -15 decorum. Soon the crew pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. I can't go down. Kurt approaches. Oil of trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Not when you're walking with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to... Go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go ashore. Time to save this blasted ship. Music's gotten very tense. We descend the ladder. Ahead, you can see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Trying to get in? Same. Door's stuck. Pull harder, you bastards. We need to get in. Can you help us? Metal door unsticks. Brimley looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? Sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving. You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers loses grip on their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. And now, the end is... No, it's not. This is the prologue. We need to avoid a water hammer, or we won't be making it off the ship. Sure. The rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. This valve. Grab a valve and begin turning, trying all you can to keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the ache in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. Oh no, I'm glad I saved some. You keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. We could be at this for hours. Shit, where's the rest of the crew? Brought help. The furnace rumbles and sputters. Oh, it didn't matter, we saved it. Get me coal and turn those valves. I don't have any coal. Oh, I need to put people on things. Ah! You, John. Get on there. You grab the valve. Gnomes. Get on there. With enough working hands on the boiler, you begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. Cavity, you do it. I trust you, you're well built. The room shakes. Water hammer! Oh. Jet of steam paints Doom. Subsides as they writhe in agony. When a crew gains severe status effects such as wounded, scurvy or frostbite, that crewmate will become invalid and unable to work. Oh, I'm so sorry. Damn it. You keep up the work, shifting the valves until the boiler is fully calmed. The ship is saved. You won't be sinking today. As the crew give assistance to the wounded Doom, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear are a pair of panicked voices. Where the hell is Captain Hunt? He's gone. And that was the prologue. We have no fuel. We have sod all food. Dear oh dear. Temperance is saved from sinking. The aurora passes, leaving only bright light and white. Let's do another couple of weeks, I think. See how intense it goes. But if that was the prologue, then... Week 4. 1 week at Temperance Camp. We're alone in the captain's cabin. Out across deck can be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. God damn it. Templeton slips in through the door. Sure. Still no sign of Hunt? I'm afraid not. Hunt is still missing. And he isn't alone in that regard. No. Sanders, Sparrow, and Gren are also unaccounted for. Oh, they were some of the old tough ones. As is a sizable amount of food and fuel supply and one of the larger lifeboats. I just legged it! Sure, you and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. Cannot be too sure, Templeton. Let's not jump to conclusions. Of course, but a reasonable deduction can be made. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, sure? Hunt is still the captain. I'm not here to usurp him. Hunt is absent. No use awaiting the word of ghosts. A new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. I don't know if I'm prepared. I'm afraid you will have to be, regardless of your personal feelings on the matter. We will hold a vote as soon as possible. Oh, no! Carpenter, grimly. He is still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not all. Though I can assure you, you have the vote of myself and my scientists. Kurt and his crew are like to support you as well. I'm unsure where the engineers will side. They're likely loyal to their pay. June is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working in our favour. And the civilians are a mystery. I believe when all is said and done, we'll just about make the vote. Just about. My only competition could be dead, for all we know. Loyalty runs deep among this lot. They're waiting outside, sure. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining decorum. Though times seem dire, remember, there is a rescue ship on its way. Even if the Temperance falls, we still have a potential escape. 35 weeks! Oh no! Ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks from now. We should focus on surviving that long. It is all we need to do, Captain. How can we be certain a rescue ship will come? I can assure it. Our benefactor will ensure it. That's a load of poppycock! Another 35 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Here, you should have this. Templeton presents you with a fancy-looking hat. Hunt's hat. He left it behind in his cabin. That tells us what we need to do, doesn't it? And that feels... I don't know about wearing his hat. What about you? Do you not wish to be captain? It is not my burden to bear. Very well, then. Looks like I took it either way. The commotion outside grows. I will choose to willfully observe reality. I suggest you do the same, Captain. Scientist refrains for a moment. Out with it, Templeton. I think it's best we declare that the captain and the missing crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things further. I won't lie to them, Templeton. Leaders lie. Get used to it. I will not! Crew are waiting for you on deck. Oh boy, it's suddenly gotten very complicated. Hunt's ledger is gone. Last place you saw him. Still drops of whiskey, frozen in the bathtub. Alright. Address the crew. The hushed voices become more distant as you make your way back out into the open air. You notice the absence of June. I'm sorry, June! Crew members notice you and stop. Your attention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunk is no longer serving his post. As such, you should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role. Clear choice as first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us, do you? Don't see a body either. He's still out there. We don't know what happened. Something we can discover. I'm glad he hasn't just said they're dead then. But now, someone has to take the reign of command. All in favour as Officer Shaw? Start the voting. Abstained because he's wounded. Shaw and the engineers. Arthur, for some reason. Kurt. Okay. And all his dudes. Grimley. To hunt. Junior. To hunt with more. Oh boy. Clive. And the engineers abstain. That leaves Cordell, who abstains. And Kasha, who says me! Damn. You've been confirmed as the captain of the expedition. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward. Acting and Captain Huntstead. Crowd look to you expectantly, as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words, curious murmurings scattering between the crew. Captain Hunt is no longer with us. As they look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where is Captain Hunt? Captain Hunt abandoned us. You notice Templeton's eyes widen. Whispers began to roll throughout the crowd. There was a loyalty meter. He had a loyalty meter. Oh no, more meters to manage. He appears to have left this expedition along with 3 missing crew, one of our lifeboats. A silence hangs in the air. I know you're all scared. To be honest, I'm scared too. The crowd begin to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we be paid? We'll have to rely on each other out here. We can't afford to stand at each other's throats. Divided we are weak, but together we are stronger than the elements. I know this isn't what we signed up for. Stick with me, and we'll see us through. What are those lost, Captain? Memorial service will be held once we make land. Understood. Well, your word, Captain. Get to it. Crowd dissipates, returning to their roles aboard the ship. Past Templeton, he glares at you. I told you, I won't lie to them. If we can't be honest with each other, what other chance do we have? I hope you're right. He looks up at your new hat. Suits you. Well, that got all kinds of intense, didn't it? How long we've been going for? Not a huge amount of time. 140. Right. I'm just going to have a quick bio break. And then, I think we'll do another week or two and see how we go from there. I have no idea how long or short this game is, by the way, so I don't know if this is going to be the full 5 days of the week stream or not. We'll see. But I think at least another week or two we'll get through. Let me just tippity-tap into the chat. Tappity-tappity. There we go. Click back to the game so there's some audio for folks. Alright. I will be back shortly. See you soon. And we're back. Give me a moment. Oh, what my headset back on. Oi. Right. Okay. We find ourselves not wholly unexpectedly. It was building to the whole you will end up running the ship. But even so. We saw him in the tub. I was sure that was going to be the end of it there. Maybe a murder mystery, but no. Simply absconded. Let's see what everyone has to say. I can't imagine it'll all be pleasant. Shaw. Or should I say, Captain Shaw. That Hunt. He didn't seem the type just to leave his crew behind. He didn't. Still, no good dwelling. Have confidence you'll take up the mantle well. Do you have any experience leading expeditions? I've never captained a vessel, if that's what you mean. But the navigator has just as much responsibility to lead. In that sense, I have plenty. Alright, I'll bear that in mind. Have a chat with everyone before we make way. My old cabin. Nobody else about. Everybody asleep. Check the pumps. Pumps flood water from the lower deck. There are currently no flooded rooms to pump water from. Well, I guess that's now a thing we have to worry about. Great. Let's get another thing of tinned food. Oh, we can assign someone to preparations. Let's get Doug. Hang on. They get to work. Woken him up early to help with the food. Crew need feed for the week. Bob another one in here. Because it's early. And we'll have a crew member do it as well. Double check on the lower deck. The red room. Oh. Developing the photographs. Coal bunker. We'll grab some coal. Assign gnomes to putting that in. Should probably have chatted to the crew before doing this, but you know. Captain, how are you? As long as you aren't in my way any more than Hunt was, I'm happy. Why did you abstain during the vote? Job needs doing. Whether it's you or Hunt doing it, I don't care. As long as we aren't freezing to death, that's all that matters to me. Gonna keep standing there. Give us something to burn. Right, we'll bob one in. Right, let's make our way up to the quarters. There should be no hesitation, sure. You are the captain now, and must carry that authority instantly. Best that we carry out our daily routine as normal. Show that you are capable in the role. We should take the day's request immediately before seeing to our resources. Oh no, I've made a mistake. Already, first day as captain, buggered it. You saw the duties of the captain firsthand while serving, Hunt. You're acting captain now. It's time you take up that mantle. A line is already forming at the door, no surprise, given the circumstances. Take them as you may, Captain. Hammond. Saving that boiler was only the start of our troubles. You've seen the state of this bloody ship. Certainly has seen better days. She's bleeding in the lower decks. I believe the older stoke is attempting to rectify that. We need to stockpile as much fuel as we can. The furnace runs out by the end of the week. We die. We spend too long on this ship. We die. We don't stockpile enough fuel for the winter. We die? Aye. Get me some coal. Get it in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. A coal bunker is our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whenever possible. Junior? Sure. The ice looks unbulgent, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crew seem to think so. I think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up enough ice to free this ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Maybe. They're scared, though. Worried. Just want to feel like they tried something. If it'll raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. And who knows, maybe it will work. I shouldn't, but well, the sailors are ice savvy, so... Don't want to do it to an engineer. We'll get Yorick the Third on it. Definitely don't want a scientist to do it. Can't do any of the specialists. Right, let's get Tucker going. And then... Oh, the ones already deployed, eh? Tashi out though, they can have smoke breaks together while the other guy talks. I think that'll work out. Agreed. Oh, Templeton lost loyalty. I'll see you for dinner, sure. Don't forget the hoosh pot needs feed. We did so already. Captain, I've brought the Kennel Master with me. This is something you will both want to hear. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance, then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being freed of the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain. We'll be living off it for quite some time. What you, Cordell, do you agree? Indeed. The dog sleds will need to be exercised regularly. And there's no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky, despite the circumstances. Now is the peak time for hunting and navigation. And navigation? Reversing the ice may be a possibility in the future. We need to be prepared for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea where we are. Your current rations are not set to last forever either. Send any honey party to me as you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. Cordell exits. Same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the Great Unknowns to be brave and charted, I'm your man. We need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Understood. Before dinner, you should see to sending out our first sledding team. I also believe it's time you gave our good doctor a visit. We still have wounded from the night of the Aurora. The wounds will need to be tended to before they're fit for work. And I doubt I need remind you of this, but we need every hand available. Don't be afraid of assigning my team for some manual labour. They'll complain, but they'll work. Understood. Oh boy. So those are the scouting teams. We can find migration paths to eats. Oh dear. Let's go back to the ship first and see what we can talk to folks about. Let's eavesdrop. You did seem familiar. I finally placed you. You have you? Yes, I remember seeing you compete. Thorin Killimper. You were quite the gymnast. I'm surprised to see you in this line of work. Not too many gymnasts can carry long careers. You did quite well when I saw you at the Summer Games. I recall you placed. I don't recall winning. Mr. Flick. Feed fish to the dogs. There are currently no fish to feed them. Well, we pet them at least. Pet all the doggos. It's going to be okay. You will all survive. Tucker. Sure. Should I say Captain, right? Thought your name sounded familiar. Sailed the merchant lines as well. I think we served on the same ship a couple of times. Good to see a fellow merchant navy veteran among the crew. Aye, you know the struggle as well. Shame we never fully crossed paths. Still, small world. Good luck, Shaw. Oh, that's kind. Officer, Captain Shaw. I suppose I should get used to calling you that. I was asking the crew if anyone had seen Hunt or any of the deserters last night. Not a single soul. I know the man knows this ship well. That seems odd. Suppose you weren't expecting a situation like this as a civilian. People don't tend to sign on these expeditions for the good of their health. I researched the Pale Passage. I knew there was a risk of this. So there's no use in worrying about it. Worrying never did anyone any good. Oh, bless her. Hope she can keep to that. Double check nobody needs us business. We've got people on the various bits and bobs. Crew need feed for the week. Put one in earlier, didn't I? Does that mean we get a can of food every time? We'll feed it again, nonetheless. I'll keep that bag of coal for now. Check down in the boiler room. Nobody in the red room at the moment. No coal other than the bag we scavenged earlier. Same here as well. Alright. Feed folks before the scouting mission. Oh no, I need to meet with the doctor first. Oh! You're the doctor! You entered the ship's infirmary. Presence seems to have startled the young man inside. The rattle of dropped forceps ringing through the room. Oh, he was sick! Oh, goodness, it's you. Captain now, isn't it? Captain Robert Shaw. Good to meet you. Dr. Arthur Nutley. Dr. Nutley. Dr. Arthur Nutley, that's it. It's good to meet you, Arthur. Nutley gives a weak smile. Thank you. It's good to properly meet you. I suppose I seem a little scatterbrained at the moment. It isn't the norm. Recent circumstances have been trying. The inclination towards seasickness is no help. Fume. Steam burns they suffered from the furnace are severe. If you let me take a look, I can do my best to alleviate their pain. Do you have any experience with something like this? Well, I've read extensively on them. I lost loyalty. Oh no. As far as first-hand experience goes, well, no. This is my first encounter. At this point, all we can do is wait. Nutley lets out a nervous cough. Captain Hunt, do you think he may still be out there? There's a chance, however slim. Right. Have to run into him again. No, that's ridiculous. Never mind. Apologies, I'm rambling. I suppose you wanted an update on the crew. Report would be nice. Mostly scrapes and scuffs. As for the dogs, you're better asking, well, the kennel master. You mean Cordell? Yes, Cordell. I haven't taken well to the dogs. I'm unsure how to carry myself amidst most people. Animals are quicker to judge. Oh, bless him, he's just nervous. And Cordell herself is harsher still. She seems fine. You can rely on me for any human medical issues. Nutley pauses for a moment. Is everything good? I mean, is someone coming to rescue us? I won't lie. I'm in a difficult situation here. I'm going to need your help. Hey, got it back. Then you can count on my help. Nutley keeps his head low. Is there anything I can do for the crew? The med bay. Assuming that won't be cured, but we can try. Command to rest. Anyone else got any bother? At the moment. Wait a minute. They don't have loyalty, but the specialists all have loyalty. What does the bar mean? The dot. Does the dot mean when they'll vote for me or not? Cordell. Loyal to Cordell. I love that. Alright. Ask the scientists to cook up medical comforts. Alright, Dr. Gloss. And Mrs. Gloss. you two can work on that. Oh, it has to be all of them. We should grab that just in case. We do that soon. You can give me these. I can get the crew back on their feet. If there's anything I can do for the crew. So that will cure everyone. So if we have a bad day where everyone gets sick, we have one of these on hand. We should always try and have one of those on hand. I'm a little worried I've just given everyone away, but there we are. Let's have everyone fed. Crew have their meal. Ah, shall we give a toast to our new captain? Here, here. Crew return to their posts. The hammocks unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still bright outside. Evening short. I'm proud of what I've been able to cook up for the crew lately, considering the rations. I do wish I had something better to work with. I'd kill for a good beef steak. You do excellent work, Junior. You have a knack for this. Now I've been told. One would say couldn't eat a bite wasn't prepared by me anymore. Grimly. You need me for something? I've served with Captain Hunt for a long time. Tell me about him. It's none of your business. He stares at you before nodding to his hammock. Oh, I should have asked about him. That was rude of me. Let's have a listen in. So tired. You'll get used to it, lad. It's far too much work. But you wanted the work. If I can do it with one arm, you can do it. You're always saying that, Dar. You're a tall one, aren't you? Oh, thank you for noticing. Been this big since I was 15. You ever consider doing films? You've quite the stature for it. Oh, I can't act. Acting isn't part of it. You stand there, cut a nice silhouette, and you'd be a star. That sounds awfully easy, doesn't it? It can be. Bless him. So I will be trapped in here for a while. I don't like the ship's chances either. It'll be some time before we see on. Shit, I'm gonna die of boredom out here before the cold takes me. You'll manage, I'm sure. Right, let's get on up and assign those scouts. Yep. Awfully loud, aren't they? I don't mind it all that much. They've worked hard all day. They're owed their leisure. Those sailors ought to remember we all need our sleep. Cheeky beggar. Hey Kurt, how you? Boy, you barely fit in this room. Evening short. Cold one, isn't it? I used to think I was growing used to the cold. As the years have gone on, the elements have only grown harsher on my body. Imagine this is a harsher area than you've ever faced. You'd be surprised, Captain. I'll tell you of a few bad scrapes in my time. I'm flattered, but I really ought to be getting some rest, sure. I'll be careful not to press people too much then. Good evening, Captain. It'll be some time before we see rescue. Perhaps you should be endearing yourself to your crew. No, I'd like to learn more about you. You needn't do that. Oh, I prefer to continue with our work. Fostering personal relationships is not a concern. Well, sod your loyalty then, cheeky swine. Right. Let's have a look at this then. So, we need people to find the animals, and we need to scout. Ideally, we scout for what's behind us first, so we can keep an eye on the rescue ship. Get Quinsley. Just the one. What happened there? Research the formation of under-ice melt pools. Ooh. And that requires scientists, which we do not have. Assumably. Nope, that doesn't work. Right. And then that each takes a scout. Right. Let's have a look what we can do about penguins. 0 out of 10 research. Oh, I see. So we find these by doing others. Start heading in this direction as well. Flick can go have a look. Alright, so we get research each time, and then we have to do another scout on another day. Alright, that's starting to click. Captain Shaw, I presume you're here to see the dogs. Actually, I'm checking on you. You aren't with the rest of the crew. Of course I'm not. You often expect others to leave their posts. I understand you did not expect this role, but you are the captain regardless. Surely you understand a sense of duty. I'm sure you recall my conditions with Hunt, do you not? Like it was yesterday. My demand was that I work here, with the dogs. People may help with the sleds, but they are not my responsibility. They are not my people. I'm holding up my promise with Hunt. I do not intend to join your crew. Dog beside her barks. If I get lost in the ice, you're the next Captain Stanbury. Yes, Doggo Captain. Woof. Odell smiles, confused. The animal looks at you. Give Stanbury the captain's hat. Yes! Oh, no. Stanbury. Oh, and that's going to piss off Grimly. No! I've made a mistake. A cute moment has been ruined by the reality of the situation. Oh, Grimly's going to... I need to go apologise immediately. He's already pissed at me! Oh, no! Oh, no! Disaster has struck. Oh, dear. I don't think there was all else down here. And we've sent people away on the different scouting missions that we can. Let's do another week. Whoa. Starvation and too cold. Crew member will be cured of freezing, and a crew member will be cured of their malnutrition. Okay, I didn't know that was an issue. We have to do regular servings of food. And we just did. I'm glad I'd lit the fire. Good God. We barely hit it, though. Dogs arrested and available to sent out. Of a week on the heist, the ship holds barely. Cavity was healed of their wounds. Oh! He was healed of his wounds. Awesome. I thought that was permanent. Well, that's a good start to the next week. Our decorum is pretty low, though. 2 weeks at Temperance Camp. Plus 6 to available dogs. Save game to tree. Alright, we do the captain stuff first, then. Mr. Gloss. Captain Shaw, Mr. Templeton. It would appear that some of the crew have taken interest in the transmission radios we have on hand. It is likely many of their first time seeing this technology. And they have odd ideas of what they're capable of. They may believe another ship may pick us up if we monitor them. Ridiculous. They do not have the range to pick up another. Not out here. I said as much, but Mr. Turner was adamant we spent the night monitoring them regardless. Even sent me to run the concept by you, Captain. If it won't work, it's a waste of time. We should focus on more productive matters. Agreed. Oh, Grimly again. As fantastical as it sounds, the technology just isn't there yet. I'll inform the crew. They likely won't be pleased, but it's a better alternative to wasting manpower. Demoralized. Each crew with the demoralization status effect will cause you to lose 5 decorum at the end of the week. Asher may cure demoralization by interviewing the crew. Okay, we can get her to do that then. Speaking of. Good day, Captain. Well, as good as can be under the circumstances. Good day to you as well, Cassia. Well, I'll be sure to spare you any more obligatory small talk from here. In truth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. It's a matter I brought up with Captain Hunt, though he was less receptive. I'm not merely interested in the story of the expedition. I'm interested in the story of the people on this expedition. When the crew have downtime, I would request that I be allowed to conduct interviews with them. I would like to know more about them. Maybe learn more about what happened with Hunt? I see no issue there. Conduct an interview as you please. Thank you, Captain. You won't regret it. I'll mark anything useful I discover in the crew manifest. Send them to the Red Room on the lower deck when you can. I will. Gnomes. Word around the crew is we might upend in having a move to the ice. We can't free the Temperance anyway. We'll be wise to gather what we want to take off ship with us if we do. Indeed, we'll need to prepare for what could be inevitable. Most of the tools are in the lower deck storerooms. The metal doors need some work to open, but it's worth what's inside. Bear it in mind. Sure. Templeton, word back from the attempts at freeing the ship. Is such a report necessary? Well, as you can see, we're not moving. Crew kept at it for a week. Now we're calling it a day. A waste of time and resources then, as expected. I wouldn't be so sure. End of the day, at least now the crew can say they tried. Gave it their all. There's something in that. I agree. Templeton. Question persists as to how long the Temperance can hold. Will we be able to wait out the ice? If there is no change by next week, abandoning the ship may be considered. Ah, feel that air. Nothing better than a cold wind to keep you awake. You're an odd duck, Yorick the Third. How many hours of sleep do you get in a night? Well, on second thought, better not hearing it. I already know it isn't enough. Let's see. We are in desperate need of fuel. Oh my goodness. Weapons hold? Oh no. Let's view the photo library. Oh, doggos. Ship. Wow. That's a nice little bit of like bonus concept art. I like that. Alright, where is it? Where's our sick man? There. Good stuff. Right, let's check these other rooms. Food store. Hang on. Do I need to assign someone to the food store? Why? I'll get Timmy in there. Everyone won't charge into the room. With water flooding in from behind, you have time to grab two items. What do you mean with water flooding behind us? Choose wisely. Your choices here include camp upgrades that can permanently aid survival during your expedition. Wait, what? Oh boy. Right. Lemons. And we grab the other one for malnourished. Oh, and he's freezing. We need someone to go into the weapons hold with us. God damn it. Right. Tucker with me. Same again. Oh no. Get free flares. No hunting shotgun. He's freezing as well. What is happening down here? Where's the boiler? Give me that coal. Is this just because it was cold, or was the game not going to tell me it was flooded? Gnomes, you stay in here and you get some more coal. That's how it spawns each day. God damn it. I'm down to the depths, eh? He goes, we do. Oh, and that cures everyone as freezing. Alright, so let's go to the other doors. And it will cure everyone of freezing. Alright, Doug. We're going in. You and Runtstar charge into the room with the water flooding in from behind. You have time to grab 2 items. Right, we're building one of those. Ooh. Research. Reduces the cost of medical comforts and food. We get research. We need to catch up on that. And then more food. Right, then we leave. General storage. Wait. Is there nobody who can go in that one? There we go. Jume's going to be really upset if I bring him in again. We need the scientists as well. Oh man. It's starting to get people in trouble. I don't want to get Jume in trouble again immediately, but I'm going to have to. Right, come on, Tashi. What have we got? Camp upgrade. Reduce animals required by 1 on locations. By ice lime, stripped for timber. That's a good amount of fuel. We'll get the upgrade. And then we grab the fuel. Right, last one. 2 Johns. Let's go. Right, coal, camp upgrade. 2 camps upgrades. Increases, is cured by 1, raising the heat. Yes, because we need to do that. And then the other upgrade. Alright, now everybody's freezing to death. Now we need to ask the engineers to raise the heat. It's a single crewmate of freezing. We have to get 2 of them in on it then. Then we need to feed the furnace. We need to do 2 of these. Oh wait, no we don't. You put a bit of wood in there. Could use 1 for fuel, but I don't want to yet. Another bit of wood. We've got to build that up to last. Okay. We've assigned a lot of people to a lot of stuff there. Five rooms are flooded. Oh. Mr. Zach. Wait, do we need 5 to do it? Doom. Oh, no. We do need 5 to do it. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. Everyone's bloody busy. I'd have to get all of them in. Well, we got to do that now or it's going to be uninhabitable. Wait, does that mean... That means we can just go in and rush them again. That was dumb. I did not understand the mechanic. Let's feed the pot. Oh, we only have tinned lemon. Hang on. Wasn't there anything else in the pantry? Yep. Gonna have to get one of the scouts on it. And Flick, you do it. That gives us another food tomorrow. Feed the pot. Can of the food. Tinned lemon. We need another can of food. I think we do. Well, that didn't help, but there we are. Why have I got a question mark down here? Nobody else about. Right, we need to start doing some of this. All my scientists are busy. Of course they are. Because I needed to. God damn it. How much research did we get from that? Ooh, okay. That requires 15. That requires 20. That requires 30. So let's do the little penguin. Only have the one scout to go and do it. Mostly I'm marked down to hunt for the week. I can feel things already starting to stretch outside of my control. Like just ever so slightly. Right, let's get everyone fed. Crew have their meal. Dinner is shared. They return to their posts, hammocks unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still bright outside. You know, as far as rations go, this is good. Junior sure knows how to prepare dinner, doesn't he? He's too good for a ship like this. You're pretty old, aren't you? Good eye, lad. Better than mine. Why are you still working? You should be at home with your family. Don't have one. Do you not have any children? I might do. Don't know any, though. We'll absolutely forget everyone's voice before. By next stream, at least. More of the same tonight. We'll have to get used to it. Not much you could do with the ice. We'll figure out something to do, won't we? There's some checkers upstairs. We'll have to. It's getting harder to play. Cold makes the fingers stiff. We tried playing closer to the furnace. Not the same. Besides, Hammond would just throw the accordion in. Well, at least he didn't hate my guts this time. Take that. Let's double check on Hammond. Not going to get any rest anytime soon, are we? No. Could have used more hands. Hammond's worth 5 men, but even then. Bloody cold, isn't it, Captain? So now you spend your time away from the furnace. You grow used to it. You're used to the warmth of the furnace, I take it. Don't make it sound like I'm the only one benefiting. God damn it! You're all getting that warmth. Be grateful. It's so easy to upset people. So I basically did a run for all the supplies in here and buggered a load of stuff. We need to get some people into the medbay. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Instantly cures everything, but... Who are the cold ones? Oh. They stay freezing. Oh no! Right. That was a big mistake. And this only works to cure crew in the medbay. Oh no, people are gonna die. I'm sure it'll be fine. Nobody hiding in my old cabin. Templeton. Captain, if you find yourself stricken with boredom, I do have a book I would recommend. A textbook on different classes of wildflower. The topic is more interesting than it may seem, I assure you. Enjoy that, Templeton. I'll be sure to bring it to you when I have the chance, then. What rooms have we got we can peek in? Kurt. Evening show. I've been thinking about our pay once we return to land lately. Don't mistake me for the avaricious sort, but I do have expenses to pay. Before we departed, I received a letter from one of my daughters asking me to cover the cost of her stage school. Be ashamed to promise a luxury only to retract it, don't you think? I wasn't aware you had a daughter, Kurt. 2, in fact. Both with the first wife. Bless him. And what's happening up here? At the bow, you spot Kurt, measuring for any changes in temperature. Still fast. No signs of change. He notices you and gives a wave. He was just in his cabin. He moved quick. Doubt we'll be moving any time soon, Captain. Of course, sometimes you never know with the ice. You get some rest. I'll let you know if anything changes. See to it that you get some rest yourself. I will. But we have to be alert. In my experience, changes come fast. I wonder if because I've got everyone busy doing something, or freezing, that if something crazy occurs, I've just buggered it. Take care, Captain. Captain, a word. I feel now's as good a time as any to review the wording in our contracts. You do remember what was written in your contract? Why is that relevant now? Consider Article 3, and I quote, "The member of the staff shall throughout the period of such expedition obey all commands of the captain and use his best endeavours to promote the success of the same." Let him continue. "In the event of anything happening to the captain, shall obey all commands of any member of the staff who shall be appointed by the captain in writing before his death. It being understood that the rest of the staff shall hold the same relations towards any member of the staff so appointed toward the captain, as appointed by the captain in writing before time of death." What are you trying to say? There was no writing. Nobody wrote in about this. The vote we held settled what is only a temporary arrangement in the eyes of the law. Even then, you only made it through by a hair. Unless you somehow managed to wrestle a written transfer of captaincy from Hunt before his departure, in the eyes of the law, you are simply acting in his stead with no legal recourse to call upon. There is a chance Hunt and the deserters are still out there. Should we reunite, your captaincy will indeed be called into question. See no issue there. Wouldn't it be good to have him back? You saw Hunt in his final moments with us. You trust that man to lead on the ice. The loyalty of the crew members means everything. Exactly why Hunt coming back would be good. Get them on your side, sure. Keep them on your side. That will come naturally. Do not intend to disappoint. We will see. I know it's already going bad. Remember my words, Shaw. Suggest you start with the Stoke brothers. Seems they speak for many of the sailors. Well, Junior's alright with me. The other one, grimly, less so. Right. I think we do one more week. Crew member will be cured of their malnutrition. Crew members will be cured of their freezing. Can knock the food down one. Sorry, the fuel down one. We have to keep the food as is, or people will start starving. Yes. He returns from hunting with 1 penguin. Dogs arrested and available to be sent out. Another week on the ice. The ship shan't hold much longer. Lefty raised their spirits, speaking to Kasha, no longer demoralised. Cookers cured of their freezing. Front Star's freezing has progressed into frostbite. Hey, dear, oh dear. Start the next week then. Week 6. 3 weeks at Temperance Camp. 5 dogs available. Check in with folks. Do not have any fish to feed the doggos. Sadness. This will be where everyone's already asleep. We need to put what's his name. Yeah, runt start. I'll get Doug in there. I don't think we need to rush through those icy bits on that bottom floor again anytime soon. That's like we're desperate for stuff. Man to rest. 2 slots in the medical bay seems pretty rough. I keep thinking there's going to be something in my old cabin. nothing immediately down here. We'll grab the food and the cold, but we won't bob anyone in here yet. We need to see what is needed. Yeah, because they're all just frozen over. We'll check on Hammond. Yep, he's still going. All goes in. We stay alive. Really, that's him. Abandoned ship? I think not. Slap another coal on the fire. Always do this first thing in the morning. We know we run out of fuel, we die. We have to get that out of the way. We'll do the pot later. Alright. Let's see what everybody wants. Oh no. They're going to be really upset that the captain hat's been eaten. That's why they're here. Templeton, Kurt, Cordell and Hammond stand inside. Beginnings of a meeting. Well, Captain, it's been 3 weeks. Kurt tells me there's still no change in the ice. None. And best I can estimate, what change we will see won't free the ship. I predict the Temperance is more likely to be crushed under the pressure of the ice. And how long will that take? A few weeks at most. Unfortunately, we may have to look at alternatives rather than waiting for the ice to break up. You certain it's a lost cause? You never know. From what I've seen, I wouldn't take the chance. Leaving the Temperance and some making camp on the ice is something we will have to consider. Aye, the longer we stay on this ship, the more fuel we're having to burn. Not to mention risking another boiler incident. Yes, that matter almost costs lives. Heating a smaller camp burns through much less oil. And without enough fuel to survive a winter, we're dead. I don't think I need to tell you that. I would not be quite so quick to pack up and move out just yet. And why is that? The ship is shelter. The ship is safety. Currently, there are quite a few hunting opportunities presented to us. We need to gather more food if we are to survive. The ship provides a safe area to hunt from. Right, and most of the crew aren't ready to give up either. They're stubborn, just as any good crew should be. I would rather not play into stubbornness when lives are on the line. He has a point. Crew thinks we gave up too early. I resent the captain for it. But we have a serious bloody flooding problem. We do, Cordell. Aye, you might have noticed if you left your damn forecastle. It's safer to take the time to gather what we need before we leave, rather than raid the ship once we make the ice. Well, the answer lies with the captain. Should we move off the ship this week? Not yet. Remain on the ship for now. Very well. When we remove the boiler from the furnace, that is when we make our move. When you feel we're ready to go, just go to the boiler room and give the order. We're going to have a load of people freezing if we, like... I didn't realise now that is what it meant by those camp upgrades, so I am actually glad we went through and did that. We should probably raid them again. Let's hear what everyone has to say before we make any decisions on the matter. Let's get Grimley in first. Sure. There's a rumour going around amongst the crew, saying the ship is haunted by the ghost of Captain Hunt. What a ridiculous tripe. Aye. Thought you'd want to put a stop to it. That seems like an odd thing to lower morale for. They're just stories. I see no harm in them. Wait until they spread. God damn it, I can never do the right thing with Grimley. How many would like to be on the Temperance after that? He's hoping they don't go too far. God damn it. Cordell. Captain. Our dogs appear to be struggling in the on-deck kennels. They require a more secure form of shelter from the environment. Dogloos, I believe they are called. Yes. I require some hands to work on constructing them. Is it for the health and safety of the pack? I'll put some crew to work on it. We're going to need them. Thank you. We must focus on keeping the dogs safe. Without them, the crew stands little chance of safety themselves. Mr. Zack? I was summoned by Mr. Templeton. Yes, Mr. Isaac, this is regarding your personal item. What do you mean? I felt it pertinent to let the captain know that you are carrying a weapon. Excuse me? Perhaps this is my unfamiliarity with expeditions, but I was surprised others did not bring an item to protect themselves. Many of the crew cannot afford such an item to themselves. Captain, it's up to you what you wish to do with this revolver. With all due respect, this is my personal item, Captain. It's the captain's right to requisition any weapons on the ship. That includes your own. That weapon will be more useful for Cordell and the hunts. Very well, Captain. Everybody agreed. I understand. We would do well to avoid creating an imbalance of power among the crew. I doubt the sailors would look too kindly to such a thing. And Tucker. Must was damaged when the ship was being tossed a while back, Captain. Best get someone to fix it before the Temperance is freed. Freed? A ship could come loose any moment. Heading up to repair the mast is a dangerous task. We don't even know if the ship will sail if the ice clears. Would be worth it, though. I agree. It's worth the risk. Well, you want to do it, Tucker? You get up there. Tashi can go with you. You two seem like the likely duo. No. That all the requests for the day? Head to the boiler when you wish to abandon ship. I suggest we do so sooner rather than later. I think we're alright for now, but we definitely now need to have a look at them. Pet the dogs. Every day. Hang on, what was that? What is this? Oh, build the dog loos. We need 3 people to do it. Get an engineer. We'll get Mr. Gloss. And we'll get one of the sailors. Let's see. Get Harold out there with him. Odell shows the crew how to assemble the snowy shelters. I just realised I have no idea how I'm going to make shorts on this game. I'll have to figure it out. It'll require some silly editing. Right. Someone's already in the med bay. I thought that would take longer. It's going to be bad, though. Before anything else, then, we need to... I need someone to work on the food. Timmy, you get in there and get some food. Rooms are going to flood. We don't have to do every room in one evening, though. Right, let's get her to interview the other fellow. Where is he? Mr. Zach. They took my gun! Need someone in here to get coal. Doom, you can do that. That seems pretty safe for you. I don't want to injure him again. He's just got better. Let's go into general storage. I'm here too, John. Let's go. Oh. We've already taken the things out. Interesting. This room is destroyed. So we can only get into each one a couple times. Let me check up top first. See what we can get scouting done. Okay, she can explore that. And then Flick, you can go look that way. Ooh. Then lets us hunt. Get Quinsley to do that. Could get an engineer to go with him. Though again, I think it's more important to get stuff from the ship at this point. It's because if we're going to have to leave the ship... Wrong room! I'll get the layout eventually, it's fine. Let's see. Food stores next. Right, gnomes. We're going in. Come on, gnomes. Why don't you want to come in, gnomes? There you are. Alright, we go. Rest of the food. I know you're cold. I know. I'm sorry. We had to do it. I'm worried getting too many of the weapons. Let's go to the engineers. Oh no, actually. Sorry, not the scientists. The engineers. Why don't we take an engineer with us? Alright, and that's the coal. Again, I'm glad I did some of that yesterday. Alright. We need to raise the heat. Cure folks are freezing. Except we don't have any engineers to do it. I've made a mistake. Right. Put one more in the furnace. That was dumb. I forgot it took an engineer. So we can do that. Can nobody else go in the med bay? Nope, it takes the whole goddamn thing. Oh no, people are going to be freezing cold and it's going to be a problem. Best find some food that helps with freezing then. Let's see. None of these. Cure the cold. Oh, that's like danger food. Don't have anyone with scurvy yet, so we don't really need to. We'll put a penguin in. Put one of them in. Do we risk malnutrition? We got some of that cures his malnutrition, right? We got cures scurvy. We don't have cure that crud. Get another can in for now. We need to bring it up before things get worse. What do you mean with the spice crates? Oh, that was the upgrade. I see. Alright. Let's get them in for food. Grab their meal. Turn to their posts. Hammock unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, still light outside. Stoke brothers. I swear, when that all came swinging, Captain Hunt had to pull me down. That was 5-6 years ago. I had no clue what I was doing. Both of us nearly lost an eye that day. Same expedition Ward lost his arm. Half the time, I don't think I knew what he was doing either. I'm sure he did. Seemed like a good captain. Aye, he is. Served us well, no doubt. Did you need something? Just checking in on the crew. Your crew. God damn it, Grimley! Every time! Worried about the vote, aren't you? Oh, is that it, sure? I don't care about that. I'm genuinely checking in. Are you now? Alright, let's leave it at that, Grimley. Nice of you to check in, sure. I think it's time the crew called it a night. Grimly walks off. The crew was awfully fond of Hunt. Is. Word to the wise, Robin. I've nothing against you, but we sure don't know you either. It don't take more than simple pleasantries to earn Grimly's trust. Hey, Grimly. Miss the water. We're used to playing on a rocking ship. That feels sick when I'm off too young. I miss it myself. Sense of constant movement. Nothing else like it. Aye. You get it. Don't like stillness. Feel like I'm going somewhere. I like feeling like I'm going somewhere. Probably the most we've managed to get out of him this whole time. You get the feeling you're being watched, sure. Couldn't shake the feeling there are a pair of eyes on me when I'm working here. You're overworked. You should get some proper rest. I get sleep when I can. God damn it! I often can't. It's just how it is. We just need to put someone down here with you to help out. Kasha, how you doing? Good evening, Captain. I was getting used to sleeping on a moving ship before we became trapped in the ice, you know. Now I think I won't have a good night's sleep until we return to land. I think that's something we can all look forward to. A good motivation, then. I know a hot bath and a warm bed are the first order of business when we return to land. I may stay bundled up for several days. Truly savour it. I think that sounds wise. Really check on the top deck. Hello, hello. What do you have in your pocket? What's the matter, you? Hunched over, clutching something. It's suspicious. I'm glad I took your gun away. I'm holding an egg. An egg? Why? Keep my hands warm? Well, egg keeps heat. That is actually rather ingenious. We know they're cold. Better than you lot, anyway. Still no signs of change, I take it? Afraid not, Templeton. The ice is yet to budge. Moving to the ice looks more and more to be a necessity as I see it. You may be just right, chum. Your team of scouts best be keeping their focus. You cannot find a way from this pack. The two notice you. Ah, Captain. I wouldn't worry about the ice. My team will find a path. I've no doubt. Hey, Kurt. You're doing good work. Thank you, Captain. Promise my team won't grow lazy. This is certainly not the place for it. Anybody in my old cabin? One day, someone will be. Evening, Captain. Been reading that text, but I understand if you do not have the free time. I've been reading. It's quite the interesting topic. Good. I had hoped you would enjoy it. I suppose the topic does provide an escape from the ice as well. Yeah, I didn't bring many books with me. It's a foolish choice. It's rather morbid, sure, but our last conversation had me wondering about those children of mine. Specifically, I wondered on whether I'd ever see them again. It's not something you should imagine, I know. That threat always exists on these expeditions. Signed on knowing that. I must be proud to have a famed explorer for a father. You would think, oh, sore spot, oh no! Famed man makes for a busy man. The busy man makes for an absent man. At least he's aware of it. There are only so many gifts you can send from across the sea, Robin. Damn. That is some rough stuff. Alright. Everyone's sorted. In bed. We've done what we can. Who do I have left? I have one left. Hang on. Who's not got a job? One of the scouts. Yorick. Go scouting. We found some fish. Very good. Am I meant to have people not at a station, though? Like, 0 out of 25, am I meant to have people? I guess we'll find out one way or another. Right, let's rest, see what the morning brings. Call it for there. Can't risk food. Can conserve fuel. That'll about do it. Mrs. Gloss returned my research. Wilsey returned with 2 seals. Dogs arrested and available to be sent out. Another week on the ice. Naked in the wind. Runtstar was cured of frostbite. Mr. Zack raised their spirits, speaking to Kasha, no longer demoralised. Gnomes was cured of freezing. Grips and 2 Johns both have frostbite. Dear oh dear. Start the next week then. I'm pretty sure this is where it auto-saves. I hope. Yep, save game to tree. Alright folks, with that then. Thank you all very much for watching. I very much enjoyed that. I'm curious how it's all going to keep... well, how far these mysteries will go. There's a lot of intrigue already in the management of people. It's not so extensive as to the point I'm overwhelmed. There are a lot of little systems to keep track of, which again, I can struggle with games like this, but it's light enough where I'm more thinking about the people and just ticking boxes. If we end up hitting a point where we are stuck and cannot, you know, we have to roll back a save state a bit to see how we go, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but at the moment, very much enjoying myself. So thank you to everyone who's come along live. Those who'll be watching in the future, cheers for giving me your time. If you enjoyed yourselves too, hit that like button. Let's get these videos out to more people through that algorithm. Subscribe to more content on the channel. We're weekday mornings with World of Warcraft and other games on the evening. Continuing this week with The Pale Beyond. So until next time folks, much love, take care, and bye bye.